You know the vibe. All spice, no sugar. Let's get into it.
Welcome back, beautiful souls, to another episode on the Don't Sugarcoat It podcast. And today is a little bit different. I have someone in the seat next to me today, and we're going to be talking about all things astrology, all things how to use your birth chart to build your brand, to build your business. And this is going to be a really cool conversation because we're going to dive deep into what we actually have created together and how we use that with our clients. So in the seat next to me, I had the beautiful Natalya. She is an astrology expert, and she is also a support coach inside my high-level mastermind CEO table, and she works with our clients to help build their brand design fully unique to their birth chart. She uses, this woman blows me away with how much she knows about astrology, and she's like, oh yeah, this is happening because this is happening, and it's just like, oh my god, this makes so much sense. And then how to use the placements, your birth chart, to build a branding that's actually fully aligned with your unique human design. How cool is that? So welcome to the party. Oh my god, it's so fun to have you here. Even I just think of, a little bit more than 12 months ago, you were just a baby.
Literally.
But also just a stranger. I remember when you first came to one of my events. It was my first solo Australian tour.
Yes.
And you were sitting in the front row to my left. And I remember looking at you and I was like, she is going to be someone special in my life in the future. I don't know what that means or what that looked like. But when you just meet someone, you're like, they're going to mean something to me one day.
You just know when you know. I think I said that to you. So I attended one of Candy's first Australian tours, and I was nursing at the time, and I kind of just knew. I was sitting in the car and I was like, I'm just going to buy these tickets.
Mm.
And so I rock up, and as soon as we made eye contact, it's like, when you meet your soulmate for the first time and you're just like, when you know, she's the one.
She's
and I knew.
And she knew. And I knew. And oh my God. And then since then, we obviously went on our journey and you became a client of mine inside the collective.
Yes.
We helped build out your first ever event. You ran your first event, which sold out, which was absolutely beautiful. And you just you transitioned, and I just feel like it was the ever unfolding rose.
Yeah.
And you just and I was just like, oh my God, I just love you so much. Just witnessing your journey, being able to support you and mentor you has been so magical. To go from nursing to then you were doing somatics for a while.
Yeah.
You ran your first event, you sold that out.
Yeah.
And then you started really tapping into your incredible gifts in astrology.
Yes.
And now you're a full-time support coach inside the mastermind. What
even is life?
Yeah.
We've been having these conversations lately. I'm just so grateful to be in your world and to have tapped into my gifts. I feel like that might not have happened had we not been together and journeyed so much and navigated, and it's just blows my mind that I'm here, that I'm sitting here.
Yeah, literally she walked in, she's like, oh my God, this is real. I was like, yeah girl, you're on the potty, which is so cool.
Yeah,
you're the first client guest, which is of course, it makes sense.
Oh, I'm so honored. I am so honored to be here and sitting with you and talking about the cool, expansive things that we have in store.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, let's get into the juicy stuff though, so our listeners can be astrology, branding, business, what the hell, how does that even work? So I want to know, I didn't even know how astrology came into your world. I remember we were just talking about it one time. Maybe we were having a coffee. It was when we went to the Mondrian. I remember the first time and we were talking about, you were talking to me about astrology, and you're just saying how you're you make so much sense because your placements are here and this is what you're doing, and you're actually living fully in alignment with how your brand should be and how your business should be, and this is playing out, and this house is in this this planet is in this house, and it just makes sense. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, literally.
I was mind blown with everything that you knew, and I was just like, we have something here. We can create something incredible here. You're telling me that I can use my birth chart to create my branding? What the fuck? And so that's what we did. But I want to know, like, how did even astrology come into your life and your world? Because now, like, you're just an expert.
Oh, honestly, it's actually really funny because it started off as me just having fun with my friends. Like, I'd be like, what's your star sign?
Yeah.
Now, I'm a Gemini, guys. Double
Yes.
Gemini, sun and rising, which makes sense if you know me. But yeah, I literally just started by asking my friends, like, what's your sun sign? And for some reason, it just really stuck. And I began to just get really good at picking people's signs, like meeting people and being like, you kind of remind me of a Libra, or like you're giving Virgo or something like that. And they were like, damn, you're really good at this.
Yeah.
And so then I started diving into my own chart, like having a look at my daily horoscopes, and it was just so accurate. And I was discovering so much about myself. And I suppose it all just unfolded from there. Like once I started digging deep, because with astrology, I think my favorite thing about it is you can uncover so much about yourself, strengths. There is no good or bad, but where you can work on yourself and improve. And it's just been a journey ever since. But it was really just starting off as fun, like complete fun with my friends. And then it just got really
and now we're here.
And now we're here. And now I'm channeling it. And it's just like, it just works.
It's so good. It's so good. But that's when you know too, like when something literally just unfolds without you really necessarily trying.
Yeah.
That's when you know you're living like fully in embodiment, like fully what you're here to do.
I think it was actually, I was checking my compatibility with another person.
Of course. All right. Yeah. Tell us the real juice. You're like, am I compatible
Here's
with this
the real tea. Yeah. I was like checking my compatibility with another person. I was like, damn, this is really true. It was, and it's so layered. Like
God,
there's so much to it.
Chat.
It's like, damn, like if I can get this out of compatibility with another person, like let me look at my own birth chart and and see what my own destiny has in store. So yeah.
That is so crazy. And what did you like find? Like you said that it helped you like get to know yourself at a deeper level. Like what actually was that for you?
Yeah, well, astrology is so layered. There's so much to a birth chart. It's not just what's your sun sign, though it is fun to go into all of that, but like it's so complex and layered. And so for me, it was recognizing my patterns through key aspects that were shown in my chart. Yeah, so like really key aspects.
What's an example? Like, can you pinpoint an example?
Actually, something that I'm working through at the moment is, and this is going to sound like a completely different language, but Pluto, this is a key aspect for me in my lifetime, and I'll be working through this for probably my whole lifetime, but it's Pluto opposing my sun. So for my fellow astrologers out there that know, that is quite a challenging aspect because and again, like it goes into depth because my Gemini sun is sitting in the 12th house of the unseen and the subconscious, and it's opposing my Pluto. Pluto is the planet of transformation, death, and rebirth. And so there's a theme, the key aspect, there's a theme of transformation and rebirth and learning to let go of control.
Yeah.
And so that's a key aspect, and that's something that I've been uncovering and trying to work with.
Yeah. It's so cool because like I've learned so much of astrology through you. So my like understanding is obviously there's each planet represents a particular thing. Like, so can you like give a few examples of like different planets and what they represent?
Yeah, of course. So Pluto is death, transformation, rebirth. We've got the sun, which is like your core identity. Moon representing emotions. Venus, the planet of love and beauty. So that's like a cool one that we use in the CEO table for aesthetics. We've also got Saturn, Daddy Saturn.
Daddy Saturn. Daddy Saturn.
Daddy Saturn, the planet of discipline and lessons. So yeah, they all represent something different.
Yeah, that's so cool. And I didn't actually like realize that too when it came to astrology. I was like, everyone's like Mercury retrograde or retrograde. And it's like, what the fuck does that even mean? Yeah. But then once you learn what each planet represents and then where it is in your placements, it makes, and then you're like, oh my God, this makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like, as you said, like the sun is your core identity, the moon is your emotions.
Yeah, your inner emotional world.
Yeah, how you navigate emotions. And then your rising is like how you're kind of seen in the world, right?
Yeah, your first impressions. Your rising is like your first impressions. And to be honest, your rising is probably more of who you are compared to your sun.
Yeah.
That's how I perceive it. Your rising sign would be more significant, and so that kind of matters when showing up in your brand and your business. That's another thing that we use inside of the CEO table.
Yeah, it's so cool. So because I always forget my risings. I feel like my chart.
Yeah, I know it pretty well.
It's right. My rising is in Aries, is it not?
Aquarius. So Candy's big three is Libra sun, Aries moon.
Oh, that's right. I was like, I know there's Aries in there.
Yeah, Aries moon and Aquarius rising, which makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Little alien.
Little alien. Beep. Yeah, it's like fire. Yeah. Oh my God, it's so fun. It's just so good. And so like I remember like when you first did my like chart and you're like comparing it to my branding, what were like the key things, like the key planets or the key placements that you're looking at that actually made you go, yes, she's in alignment with her branding?
Well, I think definitely starting with your rising sign with Aquarius, because Aquarius is very innovative and it's very different and individualistic. But then also your 10th house. Now I can't remember off by heart. I believe Scorpio is in your 10th house, which Scorpio is also ruled by Pluto. Again, themes of transformation. So it was just so on brand for you. Your chart was so on brand, the energy of your chart. Also your Venus sign, because we were looking at your aesthetics as well. So your Venus, I'm pretty sure, is in Libra as well.
It is. So I'm ruled by
very
which
Venus.
Makes so much sense. We love Venus. I love Venus. I love being ruled by Venus. It's just the goddess. The goddess of luxury and beauty. It makes sense.
It makes
it makes sense.
It's like you just can't make this shit up. Like the energy of your chart. And so like you can see how those certain placements just complement you, and it helps. That's another thing I love about astrology when it comes to our branding and our business is I think it helps us come into alignment with that authenticity. And so that's essentially what we do, and how we, if you are building a brand or a business, we look at these placements and we're able to tell, okay, great, you're either on brand, or hey, how about we take this route instead because this placement is here.
That's so cool. So when you're doing like the brand like design and stuff like that, so kind of mention it, but what specific places do you look at the branding, or is there a specific house that you look at, or is there a specific planet, or like obviously like Venus is beauty, but what would like Neptune or something like, if what house represents, like when you're thinking of building like a brand aesthetic or a brand template, what kind of houses do you use to determine that?
Probably my main four would be the sun, so your sun sign, rising, of course, Venus, and your Mars would be my main four when it comes to aesthetics, because it's all about, obviously we're looking at colors, typography. I'm just thinking of our CEO template. Colors, typography, and even carousels and messaging. So actually it would be 5 because I look at the Mercury as well, which is the planet of communication. Yeah. So those 5 placements is what I've been using religiously. And I think it just helps, really form a beautiful brand template.
Yeah, so then the colors are on point, the branding.
Yeah.
And then, as you said, like using Mercury. So Mercury is communication.
Yeah, so
That's
Mercury's
cool.
communication, yeah. And it depends as well, you know, that's another thing. So when it comes to building out this beautiful template, I'm not just looking at the signs and the planets. I'm also looking at where the sign is placed in what house, because that also tells a story. And that's why I say astrology is so layered and it's so complex. And so it actually requires studying. Like when I look at these clients' charts on the CEO table, I'm literally studying these guys.
Yeah.
I'm studying them. I'm not just like, you know, I'm not just like, oh, yep, sweet. Like you're a Gemini sun. It's like, no, like where does that placement actually sit in what house? For example, with me, my sun, like I said before, sits in the 12th house. And I feel like that's so on brand for me because the 12th house is all about the subconscious, the unseen, and the spiritual realm. And so literally I'm using astrology for my business. So like,
yeah,
please.
Yeah. Like
full stop, period.
Full stop. Like we'll just end the podcast now.
Like, so that's just an example, but there's so many things that I look at in order to form that template. You know, what sign is it in? Gemini is, you know, referring back to myself, Gemini is very communicative, very bubbly, very out there. So just making sure that I'm able to really position that client as per that placement so they get the best.
The most out of it.
Yeah, the most for their business.
Yeah. So it's like the planets represent a particular topic and their house is like how it influences their life. Is that kind of like how it works?
Yeah, sort of. So each house, so there's 1 to 12 houses, and each house will represent a different thing as well. So we spoke about how the planets represent something different, so do the houses. So the first house, just as an example, is like your physical appearance, your physical self. The second house is all about materials and self-worth and values and resources and assets. And then the third house is about communication, even related to siblings and early childhood life. So they all represent a different thing. And then the planets represent as well a different thing. So it's like I was speaking about Pluto and Venus and Mercury being communication. And then you've got signs on top of that.
Oh my God.
And the signs add personality. So there's just so much.
There's so much. it's so cool though, because it just creates so much awareness. And from my understanding, like for you, like astrology has been a gateway for you to understand the complexity of your humanness.
Oh, so true.
And your soul. And your soul. It's like, you know, there's so many different modalities. Like people go to NLP, people do like breath work, people do like inner child work, shadow work. And I feel like for you, like astrology has been your modality to understand who you are as a human and to navigate your life's path through astrology. Like your level of awareness is so heightened literally through your understanding of your astrology, your birth chart, your planets, your placements. And I've never met anyone who, one, knows that much about astrology, and two, has used it to understand themselves at such a deep level, which I think is so beautiful, because it's like so cool that we can use this for branding, but for self-concept and your own personal development, like it's kind of been like, not like your lifeline, but it's been the thing that's anchored you into understanding and navigating through all of the obstacles, especially like recently with everything that you've been navigating through. It's like, it's like, okay, well, right now this is happening in these houses, so this makes sense as to why it's happening, and I get to move through it, but I get to then use that information as power. You know, that people say that knowledge is power, and for you, astrology has been the knowledge to give yourself empowerment.
Literally, no, it has been. And that's exactly right, that you've just put the language to exactly what it is. Like, it's been a massive tool, and it's so underrated. Like, people don't realize how much you can actually get out of astrology. A lot of people label it as woo-woo and, Mercury retrograde, or Mercury's in the right microwave, or like people make fun of it. And I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But also it has been the most powerful tool for my development. And especially recently, like I was telling you, in the last 3 months, I mean, it's been a wild journey.
Dark night of the soul.
And I literally,
Dark night of the soul.
Yeah, dark night of the soul. And I literally said to you, oh yeah, it makes sense, because my son was transiting the 8th house of like death, transformation, and rebirth.
Literally. And that's exactly what you went
Girl.
through, a death and rebirth, like a full death. For context, well, we will go into too much, but for context, she essentially, like, you left your nursing career. So that, like, obviously I've navigated through that myself. So I know just the death you undergo in that process, because you're literally grieving a past identity. Yeah. You're grieving a person, a version of you, and you're literally like letting that go. And then you've like, now you're full time in your business. Yeah. And that's a huge portal within itself. Then add on everything else that you were navigating through at that time as well. And it's just like, of course, this makes so much sense. And it's kind of like you've kind of like shot out of it now, which we're like celebrating, like, woo.
Aries season.
I know, literally, like the last 2 episodes I've recorded, I'm like, wow, just literally. Like I'm on. Thank fuck. We're in Aries season and astrology new year.
And and that's the thing is, you know, astrologically, what's been going on, and just like from, I want to say from the start of January, just like leading up to the end of February, it felt like I'd lived 10 lives in 1 month. Yeah. Like it was insane, but it makes sense.
So your planets were going through like that death and rebirth cycle. Was there like a collective? Because obviously it's like it's individualized, but then also it's a collective, like it's collective, affects the collective as well. So was there a thread collectively for like for everyone that everyone was moving through because of where the planets were in relation to our planet?
And that's the thing, is it is so individualized. Like I suppose if I was to look really in depth at where my planets were at that specific time, when we had a lot going astrologically with Neptune and Saturn moving from Pisces, which again is the end of the zodiac wheel, the last of the zodiac wheel into Aries, there was like this massive collective releasing and letting go of what no longer serves us to course correct to what does. And the thing about that is, you know, it doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter where you are in your life. It's going to destroy everything so that you start fresh. And essentially that's exactly what happened. And I feel like, you know, in conversation with a lot of other people, like we were feeling it, you know.
I was feeling it.
Yeah.
I was deep in it.
Feeling that energy shift of like Neptune and Saturn being in Pisces being a little bit more like dream state and flow, to like Aries, bold, courageous, move. Yeah. And also like they love through their aggression, you know, they're a real aggressive sign. So it was a big shift. It was like either you get on track or you fall behind. Yeah. So I'm so glad that I did course correct when I did.
Yes. Thank fuck.
Thank fuck.
I'm glad you did as well. But again, it's like everything is just like so in alignment, as above, so below.
Oh, absolutely.
Literally, that statement has never ringed more true to me. Like since knowing more about astrology and even just like learning, you know, it myself, and then going through all the things, and then probably with you too, it's like that statement, like everyone's heard as above, so below, but like no, but actually.
No, but for real, when
you hear it's like as above, so below, I was like, oh my god, this rings so true. And it's like I just never questioned. And it's so interesting because I've always kind of been like the astrology woo-woo girl, like a spiritual girly, like I've always like paid attention to those things, but I've never really gone into the depth of it. And it wasn't until last year I was at a Christmas dinner and like a friendsmas, and the host of the friendsmas is really good friends with this with an expert astrologer who does a lot of like worldly, uses like the astrology to share news about, like share the worldly news. And he's incredible. Like his insights are mind-blowing, and everything that he has shared of like predictions using astrology has like come true in the sense of like global influence and global impact, like from like World War III to like the like global control, like the corruption that's currently happening right now, the geopolitical landscape. It's just like shifting so much. And we were talking about this the other day. So for context with that, when I was having that conversation with him and he was sharing everything before he gave the predictions of 2026, he was sharing a lot of reference points. So essentially like where the planets were at specific times in human history. So like the Cold Wars, the Civil Wars, Berlin Wall falling down, like all of those things that have been like monumental moments in time, and where the placements have been literally like they make sense because of what's happening in the planet. There's then what's happening in the astrology zodiac is also affecting the planet on a global collective scale. And so in that moment I was like, oh my God, this shit is like so real. And then I started talking to you about it. And then so essentially he was saying, and I would love if you have like any more context to give to this, he was like, the placements that are happening this year, and I mean we're in it right now. He said at the end of February to the beginning of March, there's going to be a massive shift at a global scale. There's going to be a lot of corruption. There's going to be a lot of things that come to surface. And I mean, we're currently navigating through that with Epstein files, the political influence, the World War III. Like there are so many things happening right now that are creating and festering this fear mongering like energy in society, which the placements, I can't remember which one. I think is it Neptune?
Yeah, Neptune and Saturn. Are quite a big. They're
very disruptive.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And I suppose it's not just the placements themselves being in Aries. I mean, Neptune will be in Aries for the next 14 years. Saturn, I believe it will be in Aries for only the next 2 years. But it also relates to what's currently going on. I was talking about key aspects before, though I don't know off the top of my head, but that's more around what shifting is, like the key aspects of Saturn, for example, squaring another planet, creating that tension. So that would make sense. But in saying that, we do have currently, I believe I just checked yesterday, 4 planets, including Venus, in Aries. So if you're experiencing any migraines, that's why.
I have been having headaches.
Yeah.
So what does that mean when you say like 4 planets in Aries? Like what does that actually mean?
For the collective?
Yeah.
I think it's a time of, like I was saying before, how the planets were coming out of Pisces, the end of the zodiac, and we're releasing and letting go of, we're now course correcting. So I believe that's why a lot of truth is surfacing and we are experiencing what we are experiencing in the world because of this massive shift in what is no longer, serving. I'm trying to think of a better word. What's no longer in alignment is now being, sort of taken away, and we're seeing the truth for what it is so that we can move forward as a collective and raise the frequency. But of course, with that comes a lot of
dismantling.
Yes, exactly.
Dissolution.
Which makes sense because that's literally what we've all been going through. Yeah. So now we're seeing it. Now we're seeing it represented in the world. Yeah, like it's all being mirrored and reflected so that we can.
Yeah, and this makes sense because this is what the astrologist, when I was at my friend's was saying, is the placements is mirroring what the placements were for, I think, like the American Civil War, when there was a lot of like corrupt, like over, yeah, there was a lot of like people that were like taking more power, like civilization, and like more of that overturning of the different paradigms of control.
Yes,
like people were
that's what it
taking more
is.
control. People were taking more control of themselves and overturning the wider spread control, overturning like the governments and the politics, and things were shifting a lot for humanity in a generalized concept. And it's so, which is so interesting. It's like American Civil War is like, that was a lot to do with like the people were overturning those in power. And what are we currently going through? The people of the world are becoming more conscious, are becoming more woke, and are now looking at the people in power and being like, hang on a minute, why are you in charge when you're as corrupt as you are?
Literally,
hang on a minute, the math is not mathing. And so people are taking a lot more control of themselves to become more sovereign, to become more liberated, and to literally step out of the old paradigm and to overturn the old paradigm and step into the new paradigm. So it's like as above, so below. And it's like it's playing out again. Like it's just you can't make this shit up.
You can't make this. And that's exactly right. Like the old paradigm to this new paradigm. And that's exactly what we're seeing. And I feel like Aries adds that extra
fire. Because I've been feeling that fire. Like,
the fire.
I've been recording podcasts all morning and I'm like, I'm on fire. Literally. We're in Aries, doll.
We're in Aries season. And like, you know, it's literally a new season as well.
Yeah.
So
and a new year. It makes sense. Why do you think this is so important for people to know this now? Like, I feel like, you know, we've had this conversation and you're like, your business right now is like so alive because so many people are really seeing astrology as more than just your sun sign.
Yeah.
Like, why do you think it's so important that people know this now?
Well, I think, like I said, it's a fantastic tool to know yourself on a deeper level, and people are really seeking that truth at the moment with everything that's going on in the world, and it feels like we're unearthing everything that we once knew to be true, and it's destabilizing. And so people are seeking a deeper truth. And so with astrology, you are able to gain that truth through looking at your placements and looking at your key aspects and finding out more about yourself, as well as, I think it's kind of good in the sense that it's a bit of a predictability tool. And I'm hesitant to say that, but like, I just mean it in the sense that you can look into the future sort of and prepare. That's all it is. Like, you can help yourself prepare. And I think people are seeking that reassurance at the moment.
Yeah.
And so it's a fantastic tool to not only help you do that for your personal life, but also business as well.
Yeah. And it's so true. It's like people will use it as, and we'll kind of throw shade on it being a predictability tool, but it's more of a preparation tool. Yeah. And I think there was one thing that really stood out to me when I was getting this astrology reading at my Friendmas, and he said to me, well, he said to everyone who was there at the dinner, he said, whatever you would have done better in COVID, do that now. Get that prepared now, because there's going to be a lot of mirroring in this next phase of what's happening. So you should probably want to be more prepared. Yeah. Because whatever happened in COVID it's about to repeat itself, but in a different way, in a different face. Yeah. It's kind of like when, you know, you're going through life and you're like learning lessons. It's like, think about like your past partners. It's like, if you didn't learn the lesson from the previous partner, the next person you meet, you'll learn the same lesson. It's just in a different face.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing. It's like whatever you did or wish you did better during COVID is an invitation for you to be more prepared this time. And I'm like, it's so interesting. So when he said that, I was like, well, Honestly, where I was in life at that time, I didn't really prepare for anything, but my life prepared me.
Yeah.
The universe got me because I was in pretty much the most stable career that you could have been in at that time.
Yeah, same. Literally.
Yeah. You know what I
Literally
mean? Like,
same.
so I was like, I was good. I was like, so I trust the universe.
We
and
trust.
And I mean, facts, because right now it's like I'm now in a different stage in my career, like I'm in my business, and it's obviously growing and expanding, but it's also what I'm feeling is it's exactly where it needs to be for what is about to unfold. Yeah. And it's just being a little bit more mature about it and responsible about it and being like, okay, well, great, I can prepare for this, and also like I can trust the universe, but I can also prepare for it a little bit more. Yeah. So that was just like something I found really interesting with what he was sharing. I was like, okay. Yeah. And I don't know about you, like I don't know what side of the algorithm you were on, but I'm definitely on like the fucking tin head side.
Yeah.
Like,
somehow, yes, I have ended where it's like the cars all tinfoiled and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
And somehow ended
I'm
up on that
tinfoiled.
too.
My algorithm is tinfoil.
Yeah.
And I love it. I genuinely love it though. And it's just this thread of like a lot of people are making point that, you know, we're 6 years post-COVID.
Can you believe that?
Oh,
I'm sorry, what?
It fucks me up.
What? What do you mean?
What do you mean? I feel like that was last year. Wow. Maybe not last year, but like 2-3 years. I feel like I kept saying 2-3 years for like
same.
And I'm like, hang on, 6?
Oh my gosh, I was a whole different person.
Time is literally sped up. Like I believe time has changed. Like I think my personal belief is that we shifted into a new paradigm then. Yeah. Because like that was when a lot of the things changed of like way of life. Like we went into a global worldwide shutdown. When has that ever happened? Never. Yeah. We literally changed timelines in that moment. Like history changed, time changed. So when we changed timelines, so did like the electromagnetic field that we're currently sitting in, like the earth is orbiting in, and that also began to speed up. So like who else has been feeling like everything is getting faster these days? Yeah. It's not just like life, it's not just time that's getting faster, but everything is getting faster. Introduction of AI, what you used to take you weeks to do, you can do in 30 minutes on AI. It's like everything is beginning to get faster. We're actually, as a collective consciousness, collectively our vibration is rising a lot faster than any other period of time in the history of humanity. Before that, it was when there was a galactic interference. So like all of the ancient advanced civilizations, like that was the only other time in history that humans were so expanded and so advanced. And it's like we're now mirroring that again. And I would actually love to see, this just popped into my brain. I was like, I would love to like see if you could like get the astrology of like what that time was. Obviously it's like kind of a little bit hard to pinpoint the time frame of that, but I'm wondering if like you could find out like the astrology placements and stuff of like times of like the Great Pyramids, the fall of Atlantis.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna try and do that. Yeah, I'm gonna try and because that would. Yeah, you're right.
That would be crazy.
You're onto something.
I think I am. I'm just like unpacking my own brain thoughts right now, and I'm like, I think I'm onto something. Yeah. And it's like even like have you gone, we had this conversation the other day when we went for a walk about the Anunnaki. Yes. Oh, yeah. So it's like we're now like really having this conversation about the Anunnaki around the times of the pyramids and how they even birthed the pyramids, and then all other like ancient history sites across the planet are all aligned to geographical locations, to astrology locations. Yeah. Like every single big monument like that. How the fuck did they have the technology to figure that out? Tell me that.
Honestly.
Tell me how, right?
It's ancient.
It's ancient, but advanced at the same time. So it's like there has to have had been, and I know there is because I've been to the pyramids and I've seen the things. I've seen things that you can't unsee. Yeah. And I've seen like they have literally got carvings in the pyramids of like spaceships and planes and cars. How did they even know those things existed? Yeah. Right? And submarines and trains. And you're like, we're in the like
ain't method.
hunter-gatherer era here, apparently, according to human history books. But the math ain't mathing.
Yeah, and that's and I think that's really important, because I think that's another thing is what we've been maybe illusioned to think, now it's like coming down. The veil is slowly lifting, and we're seeing things for what they really are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel is like, okay, I want to know what the astrology placements are for around that time.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go back and find that.
We're gonna
our next coffee date.
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally. I want to know.
Yeah.
I want a full debrief.
Yeah. Yeah.
A full presentation.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we should do
seriously
that.
though.
Yeah.
And so I think about that, like a lot of this stuff is coming about the missing link in human evolution, about the Anunnaki being like kind of like that catalyst. And so that was the time where there was a huge shift in humanity, in the collective awakening of how we went from like hunter and gatherers to then building like monuments. Huge timeline shift there. Now we are where we are in time right now, where we had COVID 6 years ago. That activated a huge shift in our collective timeline. And now all of this information is coming out about the reptilians being in power.
Yes.
And I'm
we go.
seeing a bit of a
Juicy.
mirror. I'm seeing a bit of a pattern. And obviously now this is when artificial intelligence is coming out. So it's like it's advanced technology. All of this quantum physics and quantum mechanics is coming out. Like all of these things, like, you know, like Tesla cars, like the technology that we have used to create Tesla cars is obviously was founded back then. It's the same technology that they used. Like, are you picking up what I'm putting down?
Yeah.
Are you seeing the pattern?
It's insane. Like, it's honestly mind-blowing. Like, my human is just, but my soul is like,
your soul's like, yeah, we've been trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Literally. And your human's like, just catching up.
Yeah. Recalibrating.
literally recalibrating. So I feel like there is a huge, like, I mean, you know, or already know this, but I'm a big, like, I love talking about aliens, galactic beings,
Aquarius
starseeds.
rising.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Very individual. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
And so
she's connected.
what I think is all of the era of like Egypt, Atlantis, that's all coming back now. All of those timelines are kind of collectively awakening. So the souls, like the actual souls of humans who were experienced past life in that, and obviously you've experienced this, like you've been remote viewing recently and astral projecting, which is
insane.
I'm obsessed.
So crazy.
And you've been going back to the pyramids and seeing the pyramids and working with Isis, which, I mean, if you're watching this, like literally just look at her. Egypt goddess right here. Isis, she's even wearing the ankh. Like, it's like, say less. Yeah. Say less. And it's like the people that have had timelines in these eras, they're beginning to like flicker on. Like the light has been like flicking and it's just like turned on. And it's like ping, and it's like, oh my God, this is making so much sense now.
Yeah.
And I feel like all of my past life regressions, obviously like being with Venus and being like, I have a lot of Venus connections, a lot of Lemurian connections. And the moment that they flicked on, everything changed. And I had like full soul awakening. And honestly, like having a soul awakening is like the sexiest thing in the world. It's like better than having a fucking cervical orgasm.
Yeah.
Just saying. Is. If we're honest.
That remembrance is just, it hits like no other, I think. And that's exactly what happened. You're right. It's just like something that comes online and you're like, oh, I remember.
Yeah.
Activated.
But
then it's like the recalibration of.
And then the human's got to catch up.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, the dark night of the soul moment.
Oh,
but it's just part of the journey. And it's like, we're a race of, like, we have amnesia. We're a race of amnesia. So it's like we go through all of the challenges, trials and tribulations as a human to remember. And once the soul remembers, because the soul always knows, once the human remembers, that's that calibration, right? Of like
100% of, I'm glitching, but I know this is needed.
I know this is real, but it's like the human is like, the human who's only lived like, you know, a couple of decades.
Yeah.
That coming online is then remembering all of these lifetimes of millennia. So it's like, of course it makes sense that it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I think that's why it was so important to have you in my circle too, is because I came to you and I was like, am I going crazy? I was like, do I need to be admitted?
Don't you go to an asylum?
And you were like, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. And I remember because I had light codes the week before and I was sitting there with you and I was like, Candy, I think this is my new reality. I'm not coming out of this. And you're like, you got light codes. You're in the portal. It's fine. And I was like, are you sure?
You're like, I don't know. I didn't sign up to this.
So it was so helpful having you there too, to be like, it's going to be okay. You're not going crazy.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. You're just waking up.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah.
Literally, that soul awakening is, like you said, it's unlike anything else. Remembering this ancient wisdom and technology that lives inside us coming back online. And I think, honestly, that's when the astrology started to come through. And I was able to just not easily, but it was like it came easy to me to read these charts. And it's like, wow, like this has been used for God knows how long. And yeah, people have been reading the stars and it's literally a map. Like,
it is a map.
It's a map.
Yeah.
I have a little app on my phone actually called Stellarium, and I literally will look up at the stars every night and track all the planets to see where they're at.
Oh my God.
I love it so much.
Yeah, that's like, I've always like done that too.
It's a freaking map.
It's a map. Can you like tell?
A map.
When you're like looking up at the stars, can you without the map, can you see that's
now
Aries
I can. I can spot Jupiter. It's literally right in front of my like balcony. And and it's in Gemini at the moment, I'm pretty sure. And so like, I love spotting all like the different stars, and like it's literally a map. We've been using this for ages, and then it's also a map of your soul.
Yeah. Oh,
like you can unlock so much potential, and that's what like we're doing. So
oh my God.
Yeah,
I know,
it's
like,
crazy. It's crazy. What do you mean this is real?
I know, honestly. It's so damn cool. Like, who would have thought? And it's like, you know how they say there's no playbook to being a human? I was like, but there is a playbook to the stars, and that's probably the closest thing. So getting a playbook to living the human experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like it's so like there's so much shade thrown onto it, and also seems to be pretty right every single damn time.
It's exactly like every single damn time I look at my daily horoscope, because I do that. I like to like look at my own to see, because that's another great thing about astrology that we discussed and why it's so great in business is you can look at your daily horoscope and your transit and see like, is today a good day to make a decision, or am I just being a little bit impulsive?
Yeah.
And so like, I do that daily, because it's like, okay, it explains how I'm feeling. And maybe if I am in a more impulsive energy, it's like, today's not the time to act. How about you just sit with it, you know? So like, there's just so much. There's
so
just
good.
so much to it.
It's so good.
And I think like, you know, when I'm reading people's charts, especially, you can actually, well, for me, like I can feel the energy of someone's chart, like the essence of who they are. It's incredible. Like it's
so
amazing, their soul, like their actual soul essence. And that's what I love about astrology, is it tells a story, and it tells a story of who we are. And if we can learn to use that to our advantage, we can literally reach our highest timeline, our highest potential. And I think that's why I love it so much.
Yeah.
Because it's like, would I be sitting here talking to you in this studio if I had not done a deep dive into my own astrology and looked at how can I shift this limitation or this belief so that I can be sitting here with you speaking about this? Like, it's literally my passion.
It's so amazing.
And here I am.
And here you are. Oh my God. And how cool to have you on here. It's been honestly a pleasure. And obviously we can yap for hours, which we love doing.
We love doing.
We love yapping.
Yeah.
We've gone off some tangents and down rabbit holes, and I'm absolutely here for it. So how can people find you if they want to know more about their astrology charts? How can they connect in with you if they want to get a reading or even connect with you, work with you? How can people find you?
My Instagram at Natalya Tremendanis. So Yeah. And you can book
and
a
on
link.
TikTok as well. You're
Yeah, on TikTok I
girl?
am documenting my journey. So again, Natalya Tramadana. So TikTok, Instagram, there's a link in bio if you'd like to book a reading. And then obviously an application for the CEO table.
Yes, amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a pleasure it has been to have you on here. Thank you for joining the podcast and for sharing your wisdom. Thank you, beautiful souls, for listening in on another episode on the Don't Sugarcoat It podcast. As you heard, message Nat, connect with Nat if you want a reading. And for the women who are curious about the work that we do inside CEO Table and how we actually use your birth chart and your human design to build out your brand and your business portfolio, then we can have a conversation about that inside. We can message either one of us, CEO, and we will give you the rundown, the application of how that will work for you. We would love to work with you and help you scale your brand and your movement and your business. So thank you for listening on this episode. Please remember, if you haven't already, to comment, to follow, to like, to share this with someone who is another astrology little tin head like us.
Yeah.
So they can gain this magical wisdom. I'll be seeing you in the next episode of the podcast. Thank you and bye.